Are you brave enough to wear one of the strongest ouds on the planet to a first date? Well, I did. And stay tuned to find out whether I got a second date or whether she went running for the hills scared for her life because of this oud. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Joel the Nose, and coming to you from Miami as usual. Going to tell you a little story today. And as you saw from my introduction, I am going to be reviewing a fragrance today, actually, that I wore for a first date. And this is one of the most strong and distinctive oud fragrances on the market. And what is it? It is Soul of Oud. Okay, so you can see it a little bit better there. Soul of Oud from Ramon Monegal. You may have seen their bottles before. If not, they're really pieces of work. Put it up there. The cap opens on the top. They have different colored tops. This is a 50 ml bottle. Anyways, I have a story that I'm going to reveal at the end of this video here. What happened on the first date that I wore this on kind of a sheer whim testing it. So let's get right into this. This is, again, Soul of Oud. This came out in 2017 from the Spanish house Ramon Monegal. And this is a very dark oud. This is an oud for people who basically want to take the step onto the next level. This is for you guys out there who have been wearing maybe Oud for Greatness or Desired by LSI or some of the more fragrances that are very common now that use oud. But those ouds are masked by a lot of other, basically a lot of other, components or materials that just give you a kind of a hint of it, but, doesn't really fully give you that full stinky Middle Eastern oud, which has been prevalent there for years. Us people in the West are a little bit, probably not as used to it, and definitely not as used to the more strong, pungent ouds. And just to let you know, there's kind of a difference. There's typically, Cambodian oud is a little bit lighter oud. It's usually a little bit more, has more of a berry feel, has almost a little bit of a citrusy feel, versus, for example, the oud from, I guess, let me think here. I guess I'm thinking more of the Assam oud, which is more animalic, more pungent, more strong. Soul of Oud is something that combines both, and that's why I think this is a good mid to upper level oud. When I say mid to upper level, I mean for people who like oud. This is going to be something that you're just beginner oud person is not going to like. It's just going to be too strong. The notes in this, just let's get right into it. Oud, vetiver, birch, cypriol, cedar, rose, osmanthus, chocolate, coriander, nutmeg, amber, and musk. And when you spray it on, the first spray, it's smelling right now, and I'll give you a little spray right here. I don't want to smell it right away because it may knock me out. Woo! This is an oud powerhouse, guys. If you haven't smelled this and you love oud, you got to try this. I'm serious. Get your nose on it. I've been wearing this all day. Now, if you heard me name the notes just a second ago, you may have realized those are almost all base notes and heart notes. So because of that, right from the beginning, you're going to get oud. There is kind of a berry-like citrus almost. I think that's from the Cambodian oud because this does mix the Cambodian with the Assam oud. And there is rose in this. So throughout the wearing of the fragrance, I don't really detect the rose, but I think it's one of those ones that's just kind of blended in there to maybe give the oud a little bit of a lighter feel, so it's not completely animalic on your skin, but it is still very animalic. You are going to get that here. But when you spray it, it's oud right away. And those base notes, base and heart notes, are almost the entire fragrance. And because of that, for those of you who understand the chemistry of fragrances or perfumes, when you have more heavy base notes in the fragrance, it's not going to give you the projection of, say, fragrances that have a lot of top notes. Top notes are lighter and they can project, further out from your skin. But when you have more base notes, they lie more heavy on your skin. They're heavier, they're darker, they're thicker, fragrance materials. But it also means you're going to get really long, wearing on your skin, and you're going to get, as far as longevity, all day. On this one, you're going to get 8 to 10 hours, and it's like strong throughout the entire day. I've been wearing it now for a couple days, and it's just beast mode on the longevity, but again, not on the projection. So people are not going to necessarily smell you far away, which is good because oud can turn some people off, right? If they've never really smelled it, this is an acquired taste, I think like a fine scotch. But when they get in close to you, they're going to smell. So I would also describe this as it's kind of very relaxing. It's soothing. It's almost addictive. It just lures you in because it just sits on your skin all day and it's so strong. And again, you get the animalic elements of the oud, but you also get the amber. You get the nutmeg. You get the osmanthus. The coriander gives it a little bit of spiciness. As it drives down into the heart, for me at that point, it is, I think the vetiver kicks in for me and it becomes almost hay-like. And then that chocolate, it's almost like that kind of chocolatey and hay-like components. Really an interesting fragrance how it drives down because it starts with the oud, and the oud is there throughout the entire wearing, but it's definitely strongest at the beginning and in the middle. And then when you kind of go through that vetiver chocolate dry down, it goes into that warm amber musk. This is a definitely wintertime fragrance. I could see during the summer maybe hard to pull off, but it's really, and to me where this really starts to take off is after about maybe 3 to 4 minutes. So now that I've been wearing this for a couple minutes, I just again, it's almost addictive and it's soothing and it's warming and it just makes you feel safe. I'm trying to put words to this, but I started this video with the story that I wore this on a first date, and almost anyone will tell you, do not wear oud on a first date because this is something that can turn the other sex off, or the same sex, whoever you're dating, it could turn the other person off because this is absolutely out there. It's strong. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to try this. I'm going to see what happens. So I went on a first date yesterday after wearing this all day, and I sprayed it on about an hour and a half before the date. So I knew that it would still be fresh and strong on my skin. Let me say, the woman who I'd never met before, it was a first date, came in to give me a hug on the cheek, or, a kiss, because here in Miami, it's mostly Latin culture and everyone greets each other not with a handshake, but with basically a kiss on the cheek. This beautiful Colombian woman who I was meeting absolutely was mesmerized by this. And I gotta say, it was funny because I was at Osme Perfumery earlier in the day when I was getting the perfume. And Maurice, the owner, told me, he's like, don't wear this on the first date because you may absolutely scare the woman off. But let me tell you, the story ended well. She loved it. And what does that mean? It's going to mean a second date. So I'm going to have to give Soul of Oud credit there. I'm going to have to give it credit. And there you have it. There's my review. If you want an oud that is worth it. Oh, one last thing, the price. This is $350 approximately retail for 50 milliliters. So this is not cheap. And I only recommend this if you are a true oud lover, because you can buy cheaper fragrances that are not going to cost you as much. You're not going to find better, I will say that. But if you want to step up your game and you want to step up your oud game and go to the next level, it's worth it. You got to be brave, though. You got to be brave enough to try it. Spray it first. Get a sample of it maybe. Get it on your nose first. Don't blind buy it because it is a lot of money, and I don't want to see you waste your money because that is a lot of dough. But if you like oud, it's worth it. If you're brave enough, if you're strong enough, you're bold enough, this one is going to pay off for you. Soul of Oud from Ramon Monegal. This is Joel the Nose. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would ask that you consider doing so. I really appreciate it. Your support matters and helps me keep going and producing more content. You can like the video and ring the bell also for notifications. I'll talk to you guys later.